My name is Amanda Saperstone. I've worked at Echo Lake for 7 years. This is going to be my 7th summer. I've been a cabin specialist, I've been a group leader, and I've been the Girls Camp Program Coordinator.
Hello, my name is Elliot Hardy. I worked at Camp Echo Lake last summer. It was my first year at camp. I was the soccer head specialist, and this is my video for the hardest job I ever loved.
My name is Jake Sussman, and I worked at camp for 5 summers as a cabin specialist and then a group leader.
Hi, my name is Amy. I have been at Echo Lake for 2 going on 3 summers, and I have been a cabin specialist and a group leader. So, why I love working at camp, there are so many reasons, but I think the biggest reason that I love working at camp is because whenever you're at Camp Echo Lake, you become a part of a family. And you have so many different little families, like with your group of staff and your kids, the whole staff, and then there's the bigger community. The entire Echo Lake community is also your family. And whenever I'm at Echo Lake, I know that I am loved, I know that I fit in, I know that I have somewhere that I can call my home.
My favorite part of being at camp and working at camp was just I got to escape the real world for 7 weeks, and the biggest problems that I had to worry about were getting to gymnastics on time instead of whatever adults worry about.
I love working at camp because it's the most fun job, most fun place to work that I could ever imagine. I can't even think about who I'd be today without camp, and that just shows how impactful this job is. I met my best friends at camp. I found love at camp. Working at camp continues to help me find the best version of myself every single summer, and I love it.
So the reason I loved working at camp was because you get to meet so many different people. You get to meet so many like-minded people who are interested in the same things as you are. You get to meet, you know, hundreds of kids, hundreds of different people from all over the world, and it's just amazing. Yeah, you'll make connections with these people that you've never made before anywhere else, and you'll make strong bonds that'll last like a lifetime.
The hardest part about working at camp, at least for me, is that sometimes kids do kid things. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you are going to ask a kid to do something and they may not listen the first time, and you might have to ask them 2 or 3 more times before they do it. Or sometimes you can be talking and it doesn't matter what you're saying, your group of kids might want to be talking over you or maybe aren't paying attention, but those are just normal kid things. It's something that everyone who is, was, or ever will be a kid are going to do, and it's not personal.
The hardest part about working at camp is probably the stamina that you have to keep. You just get really tired, you want to hang out with your friends on staff at nighttime, and you have to get up with the kids and be with them all day, which is a lot of work. So just keeping up your stamina and staying awake and alert for the whole summer.
The hardest part about working at camp is definitely finding the stamina to keep going on the days where you're exhausted and you just want to sleep in and you can't imagine getting up to do a full day of activities with campers. Just finding the energy to be there for your kids, especially near the end of the summer. It's definitely, I would say, the hardest part.
The hardest thing about working at camp is it's one of the best things, but it's the long hours and the long days. So you've got to really put in the effort for those long days at camp. You were working from sort of 9 up until about 10 o'clock at night. That is probably the hardest thing. You're doing that 6 days a week, but like I said before, it's so worth it for the connections that you make with the young people that are there and your campers.
The most rewarding part was just seeing how your campers and staff grew by the end of the summer. Both campers and staff could do things that they weren't able to do at the beginning of the summer, and knowing that you played even a little bit of a part of that.
The most rewarding part of working at camp is the connections that you build with your campers and with other staff members, because they really do last forever. And it's great to hear from your campers in the off season, or to come back and on the first day your campers run up and give you a huge hug and you see how much they've grown, and it's just great.
The most rewarding part about camp is, weirdly enough, the saddest part about camp, which is that last day. And the last day is whenever the kids are leaving to go home, and they've just spent 7 weeks having the best summer ever, and really bonding with you and bonding with their friends, and now they have to go home, and everyone is sitting outside waiting for the buses, just crying, bawling their eyes out. Whenever the kids have to get on the bus, they're like clinging onto you, they don't want to let go, and you have to almost pry them off just to get them on the bus. And when they're walking away and they're waving back at you and you're waving at them, and you're both crying, trying to like see through the tears, it's in that moment that you know that whoever that kid is going to be one day, you have helped influence that.
The most rewarding part of camp is knowing that, you know, I've still got friends now, 5 months on from camp's finished, and that I'm still in contact with, that I still see regularly, and that I make plans with to see in the future. The fact that it's like a family as well, that even though I'm not going back to camp this summer, you don't lose touch with them, and they still send you their love. That's probably the thing that I love most about camp.
What I would give to go back. This is going to sound really dramatic, but there isn't much I wouldn't give up to go back to camp, aside from the health and well-being of my family. I don't know. I've already given up like most of the traditional career paths out there so I can keep coming back every summer, and I look forward to continuing to give that up for the rest of my life.
What I'd give to go back, I'd probably give everything to go back. Give everything. I'd give Liverpool winning the league to go back.
What I would give to go back to camp, I'm actually giving a lot to go back to camp this summer. I am spending a year in London right now, and the last 3 months that I'm supposed to be in London, I will actually be spending at camp. And the day that I found out that I could finish my studies in the United States, I signed my contract to go back to camp. It was instantaneous. I didn't have to even think about it. I knew.
And what I would give to go back, I mean, I would give like years of my life to go back. I still don't feel done with camp. I'm really hoping that one day, and hopefully soon, that I will have a summer free between jobs and I'll be able to spend at least another summer there. I feel like I'm never gonna feel completely done with Echo Lake.
Because if I have to pick between London and Camp Echo Lake, it's Echo Lake every time.